Hello, so today I wanted to talk about my clairsentience. Now, I have been doing this video series for a couple of weeks now on sharing about my psychic abilities and how they work in hopes that you can better understand your psychic abilities and how they work for you. And like I said, I'm not saying that your psychic abilities should work like mine, but maybe it'll give you understanding of how yours might work. So let's get into this. So clairsentience is the psychic feeling sense. Now, but what does that mean? So psychic feeling sense is an energetic sense. And why do we have these energetic senses? We have them because we are energy. Before we are in human form, we are energy, and also our human form is energy too. If you break it down scientifically, that's exactly what it is, all right? But before we were manifest in this physical form, we were energy bodies, and we still are energetic bodies, okay? And our ability to communicate was done through energy, okay? So we are sending and receiving energy through our energetic senses. And we still do this to this day, even in physical form, okay? And all of our energetic senses vary to different levels, okay? So your clairvoyance may be stronger than mine. In fact, it probably is. If you watched my last video, you would know that that is not my strongest psychic sense. But anyway, so that's what makes you unique, okay? So each of our psychic abilities are at different varying levels. And like I said, this is what makes you unique. This is what makes you you. And so stop trying to compare yourself to others and appreciate how your psychic abilities manifest. All right, so let's get into mine. Let's better understand how my clairsentience works. Now, clairsentience manifests in two different ways, all right? It manifests in a physical feeling sense, but this is tricky. I don't actually mean in a physical way. You just seem to feel it in your physical body, but you're still actually feeling it in your energetic body. It just feels like it's in your physical body, okay? So that's one end of it. The other end of it is an emotional feeling sense, and this is what I talk about when I say clairempathy, all right? So clairsentience is broken up into those two aspects. The more physical feeling sense, I feel it in my body awareness, again, which is still energy, don't be fooled, and also in my emotions. So I feel things emotionally, all right? And so I want to help you to better understand how this works for me. Now, this is my strongest sense, and for me, I had no idea that this was a psychic ability. I just thought I was a hypersensitive, emotional kid. Like, I had no idea that I could use that feeling sense to really read my environment or know things that were going on. And so it took me my entire life, literally, to figure out how it all worked and what it meant, and that it was actually a psychic tool. So let's get into this. All right, so my clairsentience in the physical sense, firstly, is that, and again, like I said, you may feel it in your physical body, but what you're not aware of is that you're actually feeling it in your energetic body. What you're feeling is the overlay of your energetic body within your physical body, okay? And so what you're feeling in that feeling sense is actually your energetic body, but it feels like your physical body. So if I say you feel it in your physical body, that's what I mean, but it's not really your physical body. So I hope that makes sense. Anyway, so you can feel things. So let's say somebody's looking at me, right? And I can feel that. I can feel like my skin almost crawling, and I immediately have to turn around and be like, okay, who is looking at me? I can feel their energy. And this is what you're doing, is you're feeling their energy. You're feeling and picking up their awareness, or whatever it is, or you walk into a room and you know that there was an argument, you can feel the energy of that environment. So that's what you're doing. You are feeling with your body awareness, okay? It's like you have little tiny finger receptors for like your energetic awareness or your aura or whatever you want to call it. Doesn't matter what you call it. But so imagine that you have all these tiny, tiny fingers of awareness kind of touching and feeling and probing your environment and picking up energetic information and sending that energetic information to you. All right. So then I know if my environment's safe. Yeah, that's a big one. Okay. So if you had any trauma in your childhood or life at all, you probably have a strong clairsentience. Okay. Because this is a tool that you develop kind of as a survival mechanism. So for you, it's probably very strong. For me, it was too. So yeah, it's being able to feel and pick up and be aware of the things that are going on around you and to read people and to know, is this a safe situation? Is this a safe environment? Or, you know, what does this person think of me or feel about me? Like these are all the things that you can read. You can read whether or not that person is lying or telling the truth. Okay, you may not know what the truth is, but you know that they're lying. This is true. But yeah, so you're kind of feeling and picking up and being aware of everything in your environment. Now, with clairsentience as an emotional aspect, then you are picking up other people's emotions. So you know how your friend is really feeling. They may say, oh yeah, I'm fine, you know, everything's totally fine. But you're like, no, I know you're not okay. I can feel that you're not okay because I can feel your emotional state. Like, it's super overwhelming. For me, it's so overwhelming that I have to watch like movies in clips, you know, like sometimes I can't watch the entire movie because it'll get so emotional for me because I'm feeling their emotions that I just have to stop the movie for a little bit and kind of decompress my emotions and my connection to all them so that I can continue to watch the rest of the movie, because otherwise it's just too much. It's too intense. So yeah, and you know, if someone's hurt, oh my God, you know, and this is a combined thing too. So like, let's say somebody gets hurt, all right, if they stub their toe, this is a more the physical side of it, but if they stub their toe, I can feel that. I can feel that in like waves of intensity through my skin, and it hurts so much, you know. But also if somebody is hurt emotionally and they're suffering, like I can feel that. Like if my daughter is hurting, if somebody hurt her feelings, it hurts me so much and it's so intense. And so I want to do everything I can to just try to make that better for her because it's hurting me. So yeah, this to me is one of the hardest psychic abilities to deal with because it is so overwhelming and so like pervasive in our own awareness. And it's so hard to discern between like my own feeling sense and somebody else's feeling sense. So yeah, it's so hard. It's so hard. And so learning like tools, especially tools for empaths, are so helpful. And I do have a good video about that, which I will put down below, which can also help you. And I encourage you to develop these tools for empaths, because if you're anything like me, it's been a challenge throughout my life to work on this, to discern these things. The other thing that people say is, well, you need to shut down more. You need to shut down your energies and you know, close your aura or whatever they say. I don't know the terms that they say, but stuff like that to kind of protect yourself and to keep yourself in more of a safe bubble. And I get that, you know, and for some people, this is super important and a super great thing to do because, yeah, you get emotionally overwhelmed. And I do use these things at times, But I also disagree with this on some aspect as well. And I'm not saying I 100% disagree, because I don't. I think you should absolutely use those tools, and I do too. But there are also aspects of my clairsentience that I want open all the time, because I rely on that psychic sense to know everything that's going on in my environment. And I really value that information. I really value knowing that information. And so I like those psychic feelers. I like knowing that extra bit of information. And so it's kind of like I put a screen, if you want to call it that, where I'm kind of filtering the information that I'm getting so that it's not so intense. So I'm still receiving the information, it's just not as intense as it could be, if that makes sense. But yeah, that's kind of how it works for me. It can be incredibly overwhelming and incredibly challenging, and it's important to have good tools for managing your well-being, and also good tools for discerning between like what is your feeling sense and what is somebody else's feeling sense. And I do have another video about that, which I want to share with you as well. And it talks about your clairsentience and how to discern those things. And so I will put that link right over here. Go check that out. Watch that video as well. I think that you would really get a lot out of that. Anyway, I do hope that this really helps you. I hope that you can better understand how your psychic abilities work by understanding more about how mine work. And like I said before in my previous videos, I will be doing a whole other series of interviewing other people and their psychic abilities so that you can better understand how other people's psychic abilities works. And so that will give you a better understanding of how yours might work too. Anyway, I really hope that this has helped you today, and I hope that you have a wonderful day. Thank you so very much for watching.